Our weapons are useless. Is there nothing we can do to turn the tide of this battle? Even so, we will fight like warriors. We will die with honor. Load up the bombs. We're going for one last attack run. Look away, tank baby. Daddy's going to be honorable. Take that, KV-1! Ah, mission failed. Wait for it. Yeah. Honorable. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we got some grind footage going for the next tanker medal for the festive event, and this ended up being a great match, and I had some good times with some of the other players. I tend to play a pretty individualistic style when I'm actually playing the game, but that doesn't mean that I don't notice the contributions of my teammates. And on an unrelated note, you'll notice that some of the textures did not render properly on my tank. That happens sometimes when I leave the game running for quite a while and then I go into other applications and I'm watching YouTube videos or whatever, and then the graphics don't really render properly after idling for all that time. It's probably a memory corruption kind of thing. But I digress. We're sticking to the road here just to give ourselves a little bit more speed as we head for the first capture point. And at this point in the match, I'm not sure whether I want to capture the first point or push on quickly to the second. But the way things look right now, we got a lot of people, so I'll hang out here at the start and then move out with the rest of the team, spearheading the effort as it were. And you'll see how that works out for us. Maybe I'll show you guys the whole match. I've been doing a whole lot of cuts with the videos that I've been showing, and sometimes it's good to see all the bits of the good matches. And there's a few things about this one that turned out nicely for me, so I'd like to share those with you guys. So sit back and relax, enjoy some Sherman Jumbo gameplay. Now the Jumbo spam is real, but you know, after all this time playing the Jumbo and playing against the Jumbo, it is a difficult foe to face, but it's one of the few tanks in the game right now that actually has armor that you can rely on, that being the frontal armor. And there are still weak spots, and there's ways to exploit the weaknesses of the Jumbo. So I consider it to be one of the tanks that actually acts as a heavy tank, a real brawler, someone who can push the front line aggressively and be a spearhead for the team. So we'll see some of that as the match progresses. And here we go, trying to pull around the Sherman, or Super Sherman, who's covering that alley, but we were counting a little bit too much on him to cover us, and I think he was able to take that guy down or scare him off, but we got our engine taken out and lit on fire. That was lucky. We really should have gotten destroyed by that shot. The side of the Sherman Jumbo, as you are probably well aware, is not the strongest armor, especially low down by the tracks. If you want to take out a Sherman Jumbo and you have a shot at his side, aim for the middle, right down by the in between the tracks, and you'll go right into his ammo rack, and if you have APHE, it will fragment into the crew compartment, wiping out the crew. So we covered ourselves with some smoke and then got out of there. Now we see a Jagdpanzer IV being engaged from the front, so I'm not worried about him. Jagdpanzer IV has very strong front armor. Our ally put one into that M4, or is that a Scorpion? And Sherman VC, same kind of idea. And then we put one into his, was that the driver's hatch or the radio operators? Anyway, that stupid weak point in the armor I've talked about before. Now, T20. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to take down a T20 from the front. I suspect that the only way to really get through with the Sherman's short 75 is to go through that machine gun port, but we don't really get the chance. He's angling, he's using that good reverse speed of the T20 to get out of danger. Very good vehicle. Currently it's on sale in the bundle packs, so I recommend you pick up the T pack if you haven't already picked up most of those vehicles. Great deal, really good tanks, and I've featured a few of them on the channel. I'm still playing the T114 to try and get some more footage. I got a good video for that one coming up in a bit, and I was thinking about editing and posting that one today, but this video is special because I just hit 50 subs and I just had a blast in this match. It's sort of a celebration of 50 subs, and I've been considering doing something for subscriber marks. You know, numbers don't really mean anything to me, except that if there's more people subscribed to the channel and watching videos, then it's like you're with a group of friends, you know, and usually only a few people are going to be really active in the comments and taking part in the little community. And I've mentioned this before, but the whole reason I'm doing this channel is just to have something of a social life while I'm here at home in the living room taking care of the baby, and to breathe some new life into my enjoyment for this game, which is the only game I really want to play anymore. And it's really worked. I've met some neat people online, just made some connections. Human beings, we're social animals. And I'm trying to make some connections with enemy tanks, but they're just not really showing up. I decided to cover this flank and to again be a spearhead, because that's what the Sherman Jumbo is intended to be. Point that frontal armor toward the enemy and drive them back. Push them to the sea. So that's what we're doing. Our team has all 3 capture points, and we're pretty well spread out on the map, not seeing a lot of action, so I'm going to go and push the spawn. So I'm not like trying to spawn camp and get lots of kills here. Just tactically, I feel this is the most appropriate role for a heavy tank at this point. If you've got the frontal armor to take hits, might as well plonk yourself right where the enemy's gonna be and distract them. Maybe try and get a few kills, and oh, hello friends. I used my ears here and I heard some gunfire. So I turned and looked, and lo and behold, 2 enemy tanks. Let's see if we can shoot this one third person through the bushes right into that weak spot. Beautiful. Through the weak side armor, into the crew compartment, wiping everything out. That is nice. So a quick 2 kills to add to my count. We took out some people that were camping that ridge line, protecting their own spawn. And now it's time to push and be aggressive and face the enemy in the one place where they're going to be. M4 and an M4 Jumbo. So we hi Guppy, the baby's coming over. Ah, run away guys, the baby's coming after you. So both of them taken down, and I got distracted a bit from the action because Tank Baby is currently trying to eat the microphone. I don't know what you guys are hearing right now. We managed to get a lucky one shot on the M6. Usually the frontal armor on the M6 is too thick for me to get through with the regular APHE round. So I switched to APCR, but in this one instance, I got a lucky pen on one of the weaker spots of his very complex frontal armor and managed to take down the tank with one shot. Very lucky. M24 doesn't stand a chance. Really, if I was that guy, I would have... And again, this is a bad situation either way, but I would have tried to flank immediately because going straight down the middle in this scenario is not going to work out. Drop some smoke just to try and get the enemy tanks to push through, to move so that we can target them faster. And at this point, you know, we've definitely gotten everything we wanted. Guppy really wants to eat the mic. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can give her a bottle. Alright, feeding Guppy is not the easiest thing to do. Tank Baby always has an extra agenda when it comes to time to eat. She she gets hungry and she comes over and starts yelling at me for food, so that's my sign that it's time to engage in negotiations. And she really just wants to like wiggle and grab things and mess around with her right hand when I'm trying to feed her, and she knows how to hold the bottle now, so that's like a trap. Yeah, well, you can't disagree because that is what you do. And so she holds the bottle, and then as soon as I stand up, she flops over on her stomach and starts starts going and playing with her toys or something. And she's still desperately hungry, so I have to like just keep coming back to her. And sometimes I'll do what's called a swaddle, where you wrap her up in blankets and then put the bottle in her mouth and walk away. Swaddle and bottle, that's the way. But that M18 takes us down, so we're gonna fly out in the P-63 Air Cobra. And at this point, of course, the match is basically over, but we're gonna see if we can get a revenge kill on that M18, maybe take him down. In fact, he's probably been killed by this point. I'm not keeping a really close eye on the kill feed. What I am doing is plugging the channel real quick. I like to invite people to the channel when I'm having a good match, because, well, there's a chance it's going to show up online, and people always like to see themselves. But it's also an invitation for people to join my little community that's growing here, my little circle of friends and acquaintances. After all, this is this is the extent of my social life, because I spend all the rest of my time taking care of this little baby here. Yes, and she's totally worth it. She's super adorable and precious, and she's starting to look like me a lot, and it freaks me out. Anyway, adorable baby aside, we have not been able to find that M18, but we're still zooming around, and we're zooming up here to maintain some energy and get a good look at the battlefield. When you climb in a ground attacker, you give yourself a wider view of the battlefield, but then again, it's really hard to spot targets. In fact, ground strike in aircraft, the hardest thing other than not crashing into a tree for me has been actually finding where the enemy is. And I've found that it's really helpful if they're engaging with my allies. So if I see cannon fire or tracers, then I can sort of follow those into where the enemy is. But I don't have the best eye for that kind of detail, so it's been a real learning process for me. We ditch our bombs because I'm not expecting to see enemy tanks at this point, and we hear an airplane, so we're gonna try and find where that guy is. At this point, we don't see him, so we're looking around a bit, but nothing's really happening at this point. I'd really love to get one more kill and take down an enemy airplane. Checking the ground for enemy tanks, nothing. And we look right, look left, and there he is. Okay, so we cut throttle and then boost as we come into the turn. Just like you would do with a race car, you cut your speed a bit when you're entering your turn, and then hit full throttle when you're halfway through to push yourself around, sort of maintain that energy and change your momentum. We're not conserving ammo by any means. I'm firing in 4-round bursts with the cannon, make some connections, and get the kill. And that is a nice... I got me! It's a nice, satisfying way to end the match. And a good match it was, too. This was the day where I got to 50 subs on YouTube, and I figure that's a good way to celebrate. So in any event, we have a big ol' pile of medals coming to us at the end of the match, but even more importantly, this was the video where I was at 50 subs on YouTube, and so this will be a little time capsule for me. It's been a great experience watching the channel grow and watching the community grow. It's always exciting for me to see new subs and to get to know new people in the game, and I really wish I had more time to spend with the people in the game and squad up and hang out and stuff like that, but dad duties call me away fairly frequently, and you don't see how much time I spend AFK in matches because I have to take care of a baby. Anyway, it's been a pleasure sharing my time with you guys in the game and out. Feel free to like and comment on the video. I'd really love to see this community engaging in the comments section. We're still a fairly small group of people, but it's nice to make connections anyway. Hope you guys had a great time during this winter holiday season, and hope to see you guys in the future. It's been a good time. Bye-bye.
song about my favorite food, jumbo shrimp. I love them. Jumbo shrimp. Jumbo shrimp. I like jumbo shrimp because they are so cool. I find them in my backyard pool. Jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo shrimp, cause they have a big head, and when you cut off their head, oh, you know they are dead. Jumbo shrimp.
I like them. Jumbo shrimp. They're fish, but smaller. And maybe larger a little bit too. They crawl on the floor of the ocean. Oh yeah. I like jumbo shrimp cause they are so cool. And when you fish, you don't use a spool, you use a net. And you get a lot of them cause they're jumbo and tiny at the same time. It's an oxymoron. I'm a moron too. This song is for Ryan Seacrest. I love you, Ryan Seacrest. I need chips.
If you give me chips, I will feed them to my shrimp, because me and my shrimp are pimp. Jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo. He's not Dumbo. He's not Dumbo, but he has big ears too.
My shrimp, they have guns, and they're all my sons. Jumbo shrimp.
What a pimp. If you're not a jumbo shrimp already, then you're missing out. So I'm gonna tell you what you have to do. You gotta call 1-800-SHRIMP and do something good.